New season, new balance changes. But the main question is, will the meta change? Let's find out. AK-117 is getting damage buff to the second range. Previously we needed to hit 2 shots around the chest area for a 4-shot kill, but now we only need to hit 1 shot. It's a pretty good buff and boosts the effectiveness of AK-117 for a longer range, especially with the range buff giving us 23 meters of potential 4-shot range, and we can range boost on top of that, making AK-117 a better contender for a versatile weapon. And watch this analysis to know more. Although hitbox right now does uneven damage around the chest area, so a potential balance change is making the entire area do the same damage. BK-57 is getting 2 buffs on paper, but the practical performance will remain unchanged. As for getting the faster potential time to kill, we will need to hit headshots, which will be inconsistent, and the consistent time to kill remains unchanged, same with the effective range. A potential balance change is improving the recall, as BK can be used as a kilo 1-for-1 alternative, but recall is what deters people away from using it. So to make BK more viable, give recall buff, either to the initial pattern like first 10 to 12 bullets, or to the overall spray. Chikum is getting improved range. It is a very minor change and won't affect the practical performance at all. Echo is getting improved ADS bullet spread. It will be helpful but not that useful, since Echo is mainly used as a spam hipfire shotgun to be a menace in close quarters like inside of a hardpoint, and we won't be ADSing for the improved ADS bullet spread to be effective. And now is a good time to leave a like and comment something nice to help support the video. FR556 is getting a pointless change. The improved damage to 27 does not help much, as FR556 is a 4-shot weapon, and for the 3-shot potential we will need to hit headshot, and the odds are pretty much the same as before. The new range created till 33 meters is an improvement, but 20 damage is pointless as legs do 0.95 damage, meaning we won't have consistent 5-shot kill in this range, and we will need to rely on aiming the upper body, which isn't a problem. But if you're making balance changes, at least work on consistency a bit, since the odds for potential time to kill is worse than common weapons we already use in meta, and I will recommend using KN-44 instead. All in all, I'm disappointed in FR556 and the balance change could be better.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
A potential balance change is giving 1x multiplier to the legs, which will make FR556 a consistent 5-shot kill weapon. Even then we have much better weapons to use, so I don't see FR seeing the light of the day in the coming season. Hades is getting minor mobility improvements, 2 frames of ADS speed and 2% to movement speed. Decent changes, albeit nothing spectacular, to drastically change the practical performance of the weapon. HPR3 is getting improved range, and this change is better than FR556, as with 35 meters of effective range plus range boosting, we can get over 40 meters of effective range, while offering consistent 5-shot kill even if we hit all leg shots. Even in the current season, HPR3 is already pretty good to use, and next season it will be even better. I recommend using HPR3 as it's a very fun gun to use, and next season it will be potentially an off-meta mention. For more analysis and best Gunsmith builds, you can join our Discord server. Kilo 1-for-1 is getting 1.2 times damage to the chest, which is definitely an improvement and opens up potential for 3-shot kill in close range and 4-shot kill at mid-range. But it doesn't impress me too much, as LK24 already has better multipliers, and I recommend using that for passive long-range assault rifle. So Kilo should have got at least something similar. Nonetheless, it's a good change. But hitting only the chest is a hard hitbox to aim at, since arms cover that area and they do lesser damage, while the potential time to kill will still be a bit inconsistent. The forgotten meta, Maddox, which got used for 1 season and then suddenly disappeared, is getting improvement to range profile. It is a very minor change and does not change the practical performance by much, but the lesser vertical recall on Echo Fire mod will definitely be an improvement, as while the recall pattern is easy, the magnitude of recall is challenging to phone players using low sense, as we don't get enough screen space to do just pull down to control the recall. So so hopefully this change will address that issue. M4 LMG is getting headshot and chest multiplier buff. It is kind of pointless as M4 LMG and UL 736 are similar guns and UL is already better. Watch this analysis to know more. So even though M4 LMG is getting a buff, it will get overshadowed and not used at all. So it's just a balance change on paper, as the practical performance will be pretty similar due to potential time trickle being inconsistent on M4 LMG. Bullet spread buff is also minor. 23-21 is not a very noticeable change. I personally would have made it 19, as with attachments we can make the bullet spread much better for challenging long range gunfights. M4 LMG is still lacking. Pharaoh is getting a minor range improvement when it should be getting a recall buff and make the unpredictable recall into pattern based recall. With KSP and Chickum as alternatives, I still don't see why people will use Pharaoh unless they like or prefer using it. PKM is a forgotten LMG. It got used initially as an alternative to RPT and as the first LMG with 3-shot potential, but fell from grace over time. Lesser vertical recall is a good sign, as PKM has easy recall pattern, but the magnitude of recall is high, so hopefully this change will lower that down considerably. The damage and range buff looks enticing, as we can 3-shot from close range till 35 meters, which is very good, but the hitbox will need a bit of work for PKM to be worth using, as right now UL 736 will get used instead, and watch this analysis to know more. Striker got improved ADS spread, but not that useful. But hey, at least it is getting some attention from the developers if not from the community. And that is it. Overall, there are some good changes, but most of the changes will be just on paper and won't impact the practical performance by much. I don't see top 10 ranking changing much either, but maybe the bottom positions will get shuffled to include Maddox, HPR 117, BK, etc. I will update my top 10 list once the new season starts, so subscribe with bell to get notified. Until then, here is why you should be using AK-47, and I will see you on next video. Bye.